Leviticus, the way of holiness. After the great journey from Egypt and the thunderous encounter at Mount Sinai, the Israelites had become a people set apart, a nation under God. But freedom was only the beginning. Now, God would teach them how to live as a holy people, dwelling close to his presence. God spoke to Moses from within the newly constructed tabernacle, his sacred tent among the people. There, in the stillness of divine fire and fragrant incense, God revealed the laws that would shape the heart of his nation. The first were instructions for offerings. The people could bring animals, grain, or oil, not as burdens, but as gifts to draw near to God, whether it was to say, thank you, ask for forgiveness, or simply honor the Lord. These sacrifices reminded them of God's justice and mercy. Then came the priests, the sons of Aaron. Clothed in special robes, they stood between the people and God. Their role was holy, to offer sacrifices, teach the law, and keep the tabernacle pure. God gave them sacred duties and careful rules. For those who stood closest to his glory had to walk in great reverence. God taught them the difference between what is clean and unclean, not just in food or illness, but in choices and actions. These weren't just rules. They were lessons in purity, helping the people understand what it meant to live in a world touched by both brokenness and beauty. Then came the Day of Atonement, the most sacred day of the year. On this day, the high priest would enter the most holy place, behind the sacred curtain, and offer a sacrifice of sins of the entire nation. One goat was sacrificed, while another, the scapegoat, was released into the wilderness, symbolizing how God removes sin far away from his people. God's voice continued, calling his people to a higher way of living. Be holy, he said, because I, the Lord your God, am holy. These laws were not just about rituals, but about justice and compassion, caring for the poor, honoring parents, and treating neighbors with kindness. God spoke about celebration and rest, commanding festivals throughout the year to remember his faithfulness. The people were to rejoice together, rest from their work, and gather in worship, never forgetting who brought them out of Egypt. He also gave them rules for the land itself, to let it rest every 7th year, and forgive debts every 50 years in a great jubilee. It was a reminder that everything belonged to God, and he cared for every person, rich or poor, strong or weak. God warned them that blessing would follow obedience, but hardship would follow rebellion. Yet even in warning, his heart was clear. If they returned to him, he would forgive, heal, and restore. His love was unshakable. Leviticus is not just a book of laws. It is a story of a people learning to walk with a holy God. In the wilderness, between deliverance and destiny, God was shaping hearts to reflect his own,